Hello, Reformers, and welcome back to Prophecy of Pendor. Now, when we left off, we had done a little bit of relation gathering with the Noldor, and I have continued along that vein off-screen, and we now have only one battle to go until we are above 15 relation, which is, of course, what we require to do Quigfen's quest. Yes, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a quest that we will not be able to actually do just yet, but it's actually nice just to have the option to speak to him and gain it, I suppose. But what I've also attempted to do was, of course, help a couple of the Noldor forces, and one of the Noldor forces I helped was against an Empire vassal, and he had a huge amount of very nice units to take prisoner. And so, we are in the tavern, and as you can see, Borgi the Fat is waiting for us. So let us speak to him. We will ask him if he's heard any rumors. Nothing much, unfortunately enough. But he also has the ability to sell prisoners. Oh yes, or at least buy them. And there's 9,000. Oh yes. We had a couple of Shadow Legion Mariners and various other units there. So that was just fantastic. Unfortunately, I've already asked this guy about particular things. So yes, unfortunately, he will not be able to tell us, and Phineas is at Naltar. Now, there has been a couple of developments going on in the last week, in-game week, I think it's been so far, and that is that the Dashar have declared war against the Fyrdsvain, and the Fyrdsvain and the Ravenstern have made peace. So we are, of course, going to have a slight change of scenery there. We're not going to be fighting in the snow, we're going to be fighting in the desert. And so, what I've also been attempting to do is just try to gather as many units as I can. As we can see here, I have a couple of these guys that I've just recruited, and they're going to be leveling up somewhat. So let's get some Vekavia Manhunters, and we'll get some Empire Crossbowmen, Armored Axemen, and various other things like that. Adonia has also leveled up. Oh yes, I must also mention that Leslie left because she was downright appalled at our choice of companions. And all I can say is good riddance. Really, do not come back, Leslie, because you are very annoying. But whatever the case, I actually don't mind her, but the point is that, yes, having any problems with any other companions, such as Donovan, for example, he has so much trainer skill. How can I say goodbye to him? Well, that's the point. So, let's see here. I think another point in intelligence could actually help us out quite a bit here, because then we could go for an additional point in trainer. As she is now level 10, it may become useful, and we also probably want to get her another point in Power Strike, just so that she can deal some more damage there. And also we have leveled up. Yes, I was able to get a couple of kills, believe it or not. Absolutely amazing, isn't it? So let's see, another point in intelligence for us, more pathfinding, and more of what? What else do we want? Well, inventory management would be quite nice, I have to say. Maybe shield? Shield would be pretty good too, so let's go for some shield. That will improve our survivability somewhat. Hopefully it won't get destroyed instantly. And yeah, we're just going to be traveling around trying to find one more Noldor battle, which is not actually going to be too bad, I think, because, well, they seem to be rather easy to find nowadays because we have such a huge amount of spotting skill that we are able to see them very, very easily. Now, I'm going to follow this guy because I have a feeling he might be beset upon by some Noldor forces, and we'll see whether that is indeed the case. It seems as though there's no Noldor around here, though, so maybe we'll just continue following him and we'll see what happens. Now, he has 77 units in his party. Wait, is he? Oh, no. He's not traveling into Almera Castle, is he? Hopefully he's not going to stop in there. Well, let's just see. I'm going to... apparently we cannot accompany him, which is unfortunate, so we're just going to have to wait and see where he goes. I'm actually just going to fast forward a little bit just to see where he's going to go. There we go. Okay. Well, it seems as though this fellow is going to take some time to find someone that wants to kill him. So I'm going to be cutting away, and I'll see you when we find a Noldor battle. Okay, so we have found the Noldor battle eventually. Thankfully enough, it was one of the scout units, and they actually decided to attack a caravan. Now, the problem with this, of course, is that the Noldor only has 3 units remaining out of 15. I'm actually wondering what they were doing against these caravans, because these guys are not very good, I have to say. They don't appear to be very powerful, so I'm quite surprised that the Noldor were beaten back so much. But I suppose the Noldor, if they were attacked, or if they attacked this caravan, and the caravan had around 60 or so units, and they only had 15, then I can assume that maybe, just maybe, they would have had a bit of bad luck. As we can see here, our allies only have 2 units on the battlefield. We have a rather balanced army right now. We have 28 infantry, 21 archers, and 26 cavalry, which I have to say is rather nice. Now, we are going to be placing our archers here, and actually, this is pointless. And you know why? Because there's only 11 units in the enemy side. And that's exactly the reason why, in many of the cases, I will not use tactics. And you guys know, I use tactics when it is required, not just by default, because, well, partially because it's a waste of time, and also because, well, 11 units, and among them they have a peasant woman. So, yes, I'm pretty sure that we want to use tactics against a peasant woman and a couple of farmers. Yes, that's exactly the way to go. Oh, there we go. We actually took a huge amount of damage right there, so I suppose me saying that I shouldn't use tactics is rather amusing. Well, that was my own stupidity, I have to say. Charging in against a fellow that has such a pointy weapon, probably not the best idea. But whatever the case, we do have a good amount of wound treatment, so we will be back up to full HP in no time, and hopefully these guys will be eliminated as well. There we go. Wow, that's actually an Empire crossbowman. They appear to be very effective at defeating cavalry units. Well, I suppose that's exactly the reason why I recruited a couple of them. So, as we can see here, your relation with the Noldor has increased from 13 to 17, and obviously the Empire has now gone down to -4. I actually did buy them off every single time, so as to prevent us from having any difficulties with being attacked by them and not being able to head into their towns and so forth. So we're going to be seeing if we can find a vassal nearby, and we'll try and buy our innocence. Okay, so yes, I was just about to head into Sez here because I thought it would be a rather nice idea to potentially be able to sell, but unfortunately, as we can see here, we currently have a problem. And the problem is this very, very aggressive-looking man has decided that it would be a good idea to attack us. Now, thankfully enough, we have a good amount of shield, otherwise our shield would have been destroyed very, very long ago. So now let us... Wow, now that was rather amusing. Oh, yes. Did you see where that went? Yes, that went almost below the belt right there. So I've got to say that that was quite lucky, but wait a minute. Where is the other opponent? Is there another unit that wants to kill us? I have no shield, so if it's a bowman, then I might have problems. Where is it? Oh no. Oh no, please don't let him get stuck behind some kind of wall that I cannot actually kill him behind, maybe something like that. Ah, well, yes, I actually thought that was going to be somewhat entertaining, and I suppose it was, but now we are... Oh, no, here we go, there he is. No, no. Yes, that's not good. No shield, and 2 Deshar Scorpion Assassins. Not great. We lost 1,500. Which is not great either, and I'm actually quite surprised that we were attacked so readily, considering it was basically daytime. It was dawn, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on there, but whatever the case, we are going to be selling... Let's see here, Going to sell the heavy saddle horse, because we already have 6 horses here, and I think it would be a good idea to sell the rest of this armor as well. I was actually just heading in, basically, to sell a couple of things, and, well, lo and behold, we were attacked by some Scorpion Assassins. Who would have thought it? Apparently, we warrant that. Apparently, we are so dangerous that we warrant some Scorpion Assassins attacking us out of nowhere. So, well, whatever the case, we are going to be getting back our money and getting a little bit of profit as well, so I suppose that's not all bad. And, well, I doubt we would have even been able to survive, even if we had... well, not shot at him with our throwing weapon, I suppose, maybe. Well, whatever the case, there we go. And I think we are now going to be heading in either to, well, I was going to say, oh, Phineas is here. Ah. What else do you offer? For a single rare gem, a Qualis gem to be exact, I can offer you either an elixir of Archon, a potion of Janus, or the dust of Twilight, or Janus. Potion of Janus? Maybe. The Elixir of Archon will enhance your combat proficiency, as well as increase your strength, agility, and charisma. It will also improve your luck and make you feel much younger. The Potion of Janus will increase your knowledge of all things, and the Dust of Twilight will help your companions. Ah. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Well, yes, I suppose the Elixir of Archon would be the best one to go for, at least right now, because... that gives us combat proficiency, strength, agility, and charisma, which I suppose is quite nice. Yeah, I am not interested in it right now, but I will be once we acquire another Qualis gem, I think. Because that's exactly the reason why I want to try and find the Red Brotherhood hideout. That would be fantastic. We are going to be speaking to this Shadow Legion fellow and taking a look at some of his quests here. I hear you have posted a bounty. Oh, I see. We need to do that again. Okay, well that's not too bad. And problems with the Empire Immortals once again? Well, what about a tournament champion? We are only looking among our membership. I'm sorry, anything else? Okay, not at present. I do not want to do 2 quests at the same time this time, but we are going to be attempting to eliminate some snake cult units. Ooh! Wait a minute. Is that a snake cult? Snake cult units right outside of Cez? Who would have imagined it? How lucky. Well, let's see if we can deal some damage to them, I suppose. Okay, so we have 87, they have 30. I am at half HP, but I should be okay, I hope. And let's see how we can, well, how we can fare here. Maybe we're going to be having some difficulties. If they decide to charge straight at us, then we may have some problems, but otherwise I think we should be okay. We also need to decide on a very good location to meet them, and I think over here is probably going to be the best. So let's get our archers here. We'll get our infantry in the front over there. Thank you very much. The flag is being a little bit annoying today. And we have 35 infantry, if you can believe that. Goodness me, we have a lot of Empire Levy recruits. Probably not the greatest unit to take into a battle with the Snake Cult, but, well, we're going to try our very best, aren't we? So let's see here. Let's put our infantry over there. And I don't know why our archers are going forward. Yes, we really need them to come back. Thank you very much. Okay, so a couple of our Levy recruits are being killed by the Anaconda Knights, but that is just how it is, I suppose. And we'll tell our cavalry to follow me, thank you very much. And hopefully they will charge into our Levy recruits. I know, that's a little bit callous, isn't it? But we are going to attempt a very nice flanking maneuver here. Hopefully we'll be able to do just that. Ooh, we have a lot of these guys ready to be killed. Let's tell our cavalry to actually kill them, thank you very much. And we also want to deal some damage to these Anaconda Knights. We are losing a lot of our archers right now, but hopefully... Wow, the Empire Armored Crossbowmen are actually very deadly in close quarters combat by the looks of things. And it appears as though we got here a little late, but the cavalry is going to clean things up, and that is it. A very nice victory against the Snake Cult right there, and hopefully that has given us a little bit of extra rating when it came to the quest that we have from the Knighthood Order. And yeah, that will be fine. Okay, so let's have a look here. We have 1,840. Fantastic. So we just need one more Snake Cult party, I think, and then we will be able to complete that quest. We have actually done remarkably well so far. I'm actually really surprised that we were able to find a Snake Cult so soon, but there it is. That is very, very nice. Ooh, was that another Snake Cult right there? Nope, that is just some farmers, I think. Yeah, okay. Well, let's see if we can find some more. Okay, so finally, we have found yet another band of Snake Cult units. I had to wait for, apparently, one of the Snake Cult armies to spawn them, or something along those lines, because they basically weren't anywhere to be found, and then they just suddenly appeared right next to one of the Snake Cult armies. So, well, thankfully enough, we were able to get them quite far away from the army in question, and will now be able to attack them. Now, they do have a lot more units than the previous band that we fought, so this may indeed end up being a little bit tricky, but we're going to try our very best, of course, and we're going to see what we can do. So let's tell everyone to stand there, cavalry over there, archers around here. There we go. Sounds good to me. And we do have some pretty nice Empire Armored Crossbowmen. We have a couple of Sarlian Longbowmen as well. And speaking of Sarlion, the Kingdom of Sarlion has now declared war against the Fierdsvain. So, yes, we now have that to deal with as well. Fantastic, isn't it? Yes. Well, even if we wanted to speak to Quickfen now, it would not be possible. So we're going to see what we can do about getting out of that mercenary contract next time it pops up, and we'll see what happens then. Oh yes, I also did neglect to level up before we did this, but, well, I suppose it won't make too much difference overall. Now let's move our infantry here. We're going to try and move our archers similarly over here too. And let's get our cavalry to follow me, thank you very much. And that should be quite nicely formation-y. There we go. Fantastic. Okay, so they are literally just bombarding us now. And why are the archers not moving? Can I ask that? I did tell them to move. Okay, well, whatever the case, we are only losing a couple of levy recruits and so forth, so I suppose it's not all bad, but really, I would really like to see a little bit more action from our archers right now. Okay, well, whatever the case, let us take our cavalry around, and I'm going to charge in our infantry now, I feel. Let's see what we can do. Let's do it. Okay, there we go. The cavalry should have a very, very nice time of things here. Hopefully I will distract the Anaconda Knights enough for our own knights to just head into their archery line and destroy them as much as possible. And it appears as though our infantry is doing reasonably well at defeating the other units that are attempting to assault us. Let's see if we can... Whoa, okay. No damage whatsoever. Well, I suppose that's what I get for attempting to attack an Anaconda Knight, I suppose. Let's see if I can actually get out our throwing weapons here. See if we can do some damage with them. Oh, there we go. 16 damage. There we are. That's exactly what we like to see. At least a little bit of damage. Yes. I suppose a little better than we would have expected otherwise. And that appears to be that. Yes, we have eliminated them almost entirely now. I suppose that is due to our cavalry being so incredibly powerful right now. Otherwise, probably would have lost this quite easily. And we've lost 7 units to the Grim Reaper, but nothing really to write home about there. So, yes, that appears to be that. Only one enemy is giving us the runaround right now, and we will be eliminating them in due time, as you can see there. Fantastic. And there we have it. 6 renown, 1 morale, not bad at all. And we are going to be taking those farmers, thank you very much. And we'll see what we have here. Nothing really. And yes, Adonia could use those mail mittens, I suppose. So otherwise, we'll just take the rest to sell. And there we have it. Okay, so we now have, yes, easily 4,405. And this is the army that I was speaking of. It is attempting to attack us right now. Let's try and avoid being in contact with it as much as possible. We have an Empire patrol there. Hopefully it will dissuade the Snake Cult army from going after us. And all we need to do now is head back to Sez, hopefully avoiding the other 2 Snake Cult armies. Goodness me, there are just way too many in this particular area right now. Hopefully they'll disperse a little bit as time goes on. And hopefully our vassals, well, technically not our vassals, but hopefully the Empire vassals will deal a good amount of damage to them. Enough for us to maybe have them so weakened that we will be able to take them on at some point. So, let us head into the castle and we will speak to the Shadow Legion Centurion. There we go. And we have improved our relation with them. And oh my, it appears as though we have a couple of Shadow Legion units joining us. There we go. Fantastic. That probably happened last time as well, but I had no space in my army, so we would have already had incredibly good Shadow Legion. Whoa, okay. Really? We already have 10 of them? Okay, that's just fantastic. That is really very, very nice. So, apart from that, I suppose we're just going to be leveling up our units somewhat. And getting some more Empire Armored Crossbowmen, some Vetchavia horses. And we'll also see if we can level one of our companions up as well. I think someone leveled up. Yes, Julia leveled up in actual fact. And we also have Alyssa and Anson leveling up too. So let's get another point in Power Strike there. Well, no, not Power Strike, but Strength and Iron Flesh, I think, for Alyssa. And then Anson as well. Let's see. Ooh, okay, well, I think some more Strength could definitely help him out. There we are, and what else do we want to go for? Yes, Julia actually came back after giving us 3 right to rule as well, so do bear that in mind. That's very, very nice of her. We'll give her another point in intelligence because we want to level up her Iron Flesh and Power Strike, respectively. So there we go. Fantastic. There we go. So, yes, other than that, what I want to do is speak to Anson and tell him that I would like to gain a little bit of right to rule, and he's going to go off and do that. So thank you very much for that. And yeah, now we have a couple of these guys. As you can see, they are absolutely fantastic. Oh, I had no idea. Well, next time on Prophecy of Pendor, we are going to be attempting to do the other quest that the Shadow Legion Order has for us. And oh yes, just to show you, we have 12 honor now, and we have 196 renown. So hopefully we'll be able to, well, get a little bit more as time goes on. And so I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.